Hi, good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. American had dreams. When I first came to this country at the age of 16, I had a lot of dreams. And during this political season, and we have some outstanding politicians, they all have certain purposes and help American peoples to receive the dream and make their dreams come true. Mr. Donald Trump said he wants to make America great, and Sanders wants to improve the quality of life of the younger generation. And also Ms. Clinton is focused how we can improve our quality of life and better to serve our country. When we talk about politicians, everybody have their own viewpoints. That's very much understanding. And just our opinion, no one is alike. Because we have a different background, different wants and needs in life, but when we put good people together, we always can come up with compromise, understanding, and more importantly, solutions. Yes, we have a lot of problems in this world and also in this country, but we are sometimes too busy to fix the problem instead of searching for the right solution. A lot of time we need to understand where and why things happen. In order for us to better to manage our outcomes, we must know the facts in advance. How we can come out ahead by planning, by knowing, by exercising our options. When one plan works, we can follow up and continue. But when it does not come to our expectation or come to fruition, we must change and try to find a better solution. And that is the process of improvement. And our country has been doing that since we had the Constitution. And I'm very excited this year that we have some very outstanding politicians is caring so much about our country. When you ask me if I'm a Republican or Democrat, it really doesn't matter because we all American. We all need to work together regardless of our belief, regardless of our party. But in the last 30 years, things changed a little bit. The left went a little bit far to the left, the right went a little bit far to the right. And all of a sudden, the large issues and along with the small issues, they are no longer workable by two parties because they believe that all of our agendas should be in a certain set way and no compromise. And who's paying for that price? I think a lot of us feel you, me, and everyone else in our society. It is very inspiring that some people brought that idea come to fruition and say, look, we must work for the people. Empowering our country with the idea from the people, for the people, which our Constitution's always written all about, is about the people. We share powers, we share ideas. And it was very interesting to know that sometimes when we have politicians come up with some great ideas, but may not have all the best of the solutions in the world, because we have vision. It does not mean that when we have vision, we know how to tackle the problems. It is about teamwork. The problem that we have in this country is not about one individual. It's all about our society, our community, our youth, our future. So it's our shared responsibility as individuals to come up with ideas, good, better, worse, put them on the table, and let people discuss, talk, and hopefully one of these ideas become a great idea and become finding the solution for a problem. But a lot of times, that's what I said a little while ago, that we had problems and we focused to find how we can fix the problem instead of going back to the root, find out where and why this problem comes in, so that we can stop those issues, so that the solution is not about how to fix it, but to stop having those problems to begin with. And that is what I thought is, if you put Donald Trump together, Mr. Hillary Clinton, along with Mr. Sanders, in one room, 7 days a week. Well, of course, they have to sleep and eat, and put their minds together for the American people with you to input your ideas and let those people, I will call politicians, to work together. When you got one person individually, very intelligent, he might become lazy. When you have two, they may have created a lot of conflicts. But when you have a group of people, more than three in this case, when you put all the ideas together, something good got to come out and able to help our country to move forward and having a country full of dreams, full of purposes, and energize us to become a better citizens and be the leader for this world again. When we talk about solutions and we talk about issues, it's easy to say, how can we help our younger children to have better quality of education, better quality of life? And yes, the income inequity is an issue. But by being in the business sector and as also a worker in my life, I have learned that there's something a little bit more than just about income. It's also about expenditure as well. I have seen so many misfortunate youth and some families that they were not able to meet their needs, not only because that they don't have a lot of income, but the expenditure is outrageous. And let me give you an example. For some youth that they just get off from high school or college, their established credit is not very well, they don't have a good cosigner, and they have to end up with buying an automobile for transportation, and at the end of the day, their payment is 2 or 3 times higher than someone has credit. When you have some difficulty like this, if there is any hiccups with their job, the credit is going to be ruined for the rest of their lives. Almost, may not be the rest of life, but for a long, long time. How can we address that? So we cannot start our running line from the beginning. How can we have a fair finish line for our younger generation? About education, it's not about how much it costs to get education, as long as we are able to pay it back and find a good job, secure job. But about education, sometimes we are overemphasizing the importance of it and thinking that if we can spend money, we can make more money at the end of the education years. But real life, is it going to be true or not? And when you find out 15 years from now, you're still paying your student loans, you know, oh boy, what did I get myself into? So in our school system, we have to let our younger generation understand the importance of their future by letting them know credit is important, responsibility is important. You don't dump them down. You have to educate them so that they know in advance what they are going to face in their future once they step out from their home, from their school. And when they start making a living, we have to prepare our younger generation to understand life better, to understand how they can compete. The communication skill is important when they find jobs. Are we emphasizing that in our school system? Are we emphasizing how we are able to help our younger generation to find jobs while they are learning and while we are teaching? So there's a lot of things that we are looking to better our community, not just from one angle, but looking at the whole picture and start learning ourselves how to help our next younger generation so that they can have a fair start. More importantly, we can guide them to the right direction. And talking about money, we all need money to go for education. When the parents do not have money, they cannot help them, right? So we are depending on loans, government programs, or whatever. So we have to empower our parents to make more money and more saving, so when our children need help, they are there for us. Those are the good old days. Those are the days back in the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. The parents' responsibility to take care of their family issues. But now, when we look at it, life's changed. You know why? Because even though we make a few more dollars, but the cost of living is so high, it's hard for a family making $40,000, $50,000 and able to save any money for their family and children when they do need it. The statistics say that we have a hard time to come up with $500, $1,000 cash when we need it the most. Most of it had that problem. So, looking at a larger picture, we have to learn how to saving money and how to educate ourselves to find a way to better managing our money and our future. So those are the things, that fundamental stuff that we need to let our general public to learn and know, instead of just saying, oh, we have a problem, that's how to fix it. We have to prepare our next generations with knowledge, empower them with information, knowing that if the student loan is expensive, then we have to negotiate with our government, why we have to pay student loans with high interest rate for the next 30 years, just like a mortgage. That's so unfair, isn't it? That's not the idea about better education to begin with. So we need to know, we need to understand with all this. That's why I have a dream, and I hope that my dream comes true so that all American dream can come true too. Instead, regardless who is going to be the president this coming 2016 for the next 4 or next 8 years, I hope the ideas of Trump, the idea of Sanders, the idea of Clinton, let them put them together by the people, for the people, and so that we can, moving forward, to make our American dreams come true. And talk about income, talk about immigration. Mr. Trump has some great ideas and some great vision. And I think that Mr. Clinton has the experiences, and also Mr. Sanders has the heart. When you put those ideas together and mix it all up, yes, that's a dream too. But when we do, something good got to come out for the American people. Just like building the wall, about immigration. We have to understand the difference between about immigration, legal and illegal, and the sentiment about it and what we can do about it. When back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, when they have immigration coming through, most of them are legal because they are coming aboard from China, Vietnam, Asia, Europe. Those immigrants, they pay the way to come to join a family, or because of job, or because of better living. In the last 10 years or so, we might have a different viewpoints because most people think that we had some friends moving from Mexico and the border from the south because in their home, they need to make more money to support their family, and America soil is a good place to make money. When the Asian people, the Europeans, when they came to this country back in those days, their heart is coming here to build a family and stay in America because this is indeed the best country in the world. A lot of people want to come because American is friendly and America is a full of opportunity, a land of joy. So everybody wants to come and join us. And that's what makes the American people so strong, America so strong as a nation. But with those immigration that what we talk about, that they're illegal, and some of them they just came in, some of them they've been here for a while, but the one that they already here for a long time, they have become a part of the society. If something stays in your blood for a long time, and you become part of your family, you learn how to cope with it and deal with it. But if you don't want to have any extended concern, because now our body is carrying all we can carry, our society all can carry all the illegal immigrants because they are taking advantages of the free education without paying taxes, the social benefits, the medical benefits without contributing to the taxes. And I understand that. And as a business person, I'm watching that happen every single day. And for the American, the heart of the land, we need to face that. Yes, we need to stop the illegal immigrants coming into our country. We need to deport efficiently for the one that they are harmful to our society in our nation. No delays. And we don't want to talk about, anything of trials and anything like that. If you're not proving that you're American legal citizens or residents, and you commit a crime, I think that we as American society should have the right to deport those people immediately without a lot of challenges from our law. And by saying that, Mexico or maybe something in the south border, they want to have moving to us for better living. That's human nature. But for the one that they are trying to send in some drugs, like Mr. Trump said, and I think that is very harmful to our society, harmful to our youth, harmful to our medical bills, and that we are paying because we have to continue to build those needs for the one that we need to help. So I think that is a major issue right there. And how can we pay the war? Not necessarily from the trade, but if we can find and able to capture and those drugs or illegal drugs smuggling through the border, and we can find them, we should give them back to where they come from and ask them to pay for a fine. And that would stop some of those illegal smuggling coming to our country, which is harmful to our society. And using that money to build a wall. There's a lot of drugs coming through the south border. That's what I heard. That's what I read. If that is the case, just a fraction of that income, get them back to wherever they come from, ask them to pay the fine, and we have money. So those are the dreams that I have, come up with. And I hope that you, the citizens, come up with your dreams, express your concerns, your ideas to help our politicians to advance their purpose in the political platform so that all American people can benefit all from it. I also dream about taxation. I heard some story back in the days that if you earn the money and you start using your money efficiently, purposefully, at the end of the day, those money can help many families. I think that's a great idea. In our society and in most places in the world, we pay taxes before we get the paycheck. And we have heard about sales taxes. And a lot of people don't think that sales taxes is a good idea. But I thought sales tax is not a bad idea because you can have the money to spend and then you pay taxes. You are a step in front of earning money, pay the taxes, you never see your money again. So that one step is able to enrich the people's life in free falls. That's the money that you did not have to begin with. Once you spend that money, you pay taxes along the way. Everybody is going to benefit. Everybody want to spend money because that adds to the quality of life. When you add to quality of life, life is going to be happier for everyone. And happiness is contagious. Money cannot buy that. It buys stability. When people feel like that they were treated fairly, there's very little hatreds among people. Because we all happy people. We born happily, even though when we first came out, we cry. But look at all the young children. They smile all the time. They are the one give us all the joys. So you know that we are capable to enjoy life. We are capable to find happiness. As long as the government offer us peace, opportunity, hope, and dreams. That's all we asked. As human beings, as a citizen of America, all we need just have a little bit of improvement each day. Have a little hope each day. We find happiness every single day. That's my way of thinking. What's your way? And also we say, how can we help the college students and find better education when we don't know where the money comes from? There's a certain system in this country that I don't know if I know enough of it or don't know at all about it. But there's a lot of foundations. There's a lot of stock market advancements. I don't know how it works, but if I were one of those foundation members, or if the one that I was able to create a company and sell the stocks and make millions or trillions of dollars, do you think that I want to pay tax? I don't know. Because a lot of those people are not paying their fair share of taxes by creating their wealth. I think there's a loophole in there. And I want to be honest with you, we need to look at it. If the foundation can defer the taxes, what does that mean? It means that they are not paying it. That's what that very simple means. I'm sorry to say it because they say, oh, we will pay it when we exercise this. And there's always loopholes somewhere, somehow, so that they don't have to pay. If I have $10 trillion of stock in my portfolio, a piece of paper, I want to purchase an island. Do you think I'm going to borrow the money or using my own cash, sell my stock and make the capital gain tax and pay it? Or should I use that money to borrow the $10 million or $25 billion with my portfolio with the bank and pay them a little bit of interest and call it as a loan and have tax pay off? Think about that. If that is the case, if there's a loophole there, do you know that how much taxes those people should pay if they are using their money? So that's why the sales tax can help a lot. You can hide, but you cannot run. You have to pay your fair share of taxes if you use your money. There's so many ways from the business point of view that I know and a lot of you know that they're unfair and they're so favorable to a selected field. Yes, Sanders is right. He knows. Trump is right. He knows. And Clinton had experiences and she knows. When you put those three people together in a room, America is going to win. But we need cooperation. We need smart people for the people that willing to facing the problems to find a solution, not fix the problems, to find a solution so that the problem is no longer existing. That is high contribution of politics in our country. Because everybody can say, oh, I can fix that, I can fix this. But fixing is not everything. Because the more that you fix, the bigger the problem. It's about how to stop the problem. When we have all these drug issues in our country, we have to find how we can slow down the truck trafficking coming to our country. Not to building more and more hospitals. Of course, we need to continue to take care of our need wants, medically, mentally, physically, financially. We don't stop that, but that is part of the solution-solving process. But we found the solution for the problem, and that's what we need to focus on. Please help us. We need you. We need our society, our community to come up with ideas, because when we share our ideas, when we tell our elected officials what the people want, how we can benefit from their leadership, that is what we need to do, and that's why you, the citizens, are the most important part of this democracy process. We have to speak with our minds, not just on the election years. We have to write to our Congress from time to time, even though they don't read them. I know it. When we had the problems back in 2007 and 8, I wrote my ideas to Congress, but the letter is very generic. It's from probably a intern. Said, oh, we are doing it, so do not worry, Mr. Chin. Yeah, I did not worry. No, I did worry. And you know what? 2006, 7, 8, those problems, and they all coming to hurt the American people in a landslide. And where did that problem come from? Once again, we have to find a solution. And by finding a solution, we must understand the basic where the problem comes from. Nobody and not many people talk about it. It's all about hindsight. But the fact of the matter is, we're at such a beautiful time under the Reagan administration. We're a lot of growth. And then in the early 90s, right after 9/11, and it was a very sad time. We need to inspire our American people. And owning a home is a very positive thing to do in our country. So we had come up with some ideas that, yeah, you cannot own a home, no worry. We can finance your home at a lower interest rate, but 3 years from now, you have to pay a little bit more, 3% more. So they call arm rate. They started lending this money to a large group of individuals that they can only afford maybe $600 payment. But they are going to tell them, oh, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, your payment will be higher by 3%, but don't worry, you will be making more money, and more importantly, your home is worth more money. So you are going to be okay. So when we are selling a lot of homes back in the early and mid 2000s, and starting about 2006, the banks seeing that when they will change the rate from 5% to arm rate to 8%, there have been problems. People are not able to pay it. But instead of coming up with a solution for this problem, they try to fix the problem. The way they fix it, they do more loans. So, hey, that's okay, we do more loans. So certain percent of people, they're not making it, that's okay, that's part of the casualty. But the more that they do it, and when they have mushroomed the problem, then there's no solution. No, there was a solution, but nobody wanted to use that solution because it's so consumer friendly to the American citizens. So what they did is to help the bank. They helped the bank, and they are using the FDIC to loan the money to the banks so that they can buy the stock with that loaned money to stabilize our stock market. It was a win-win situation, right? But who paid for the bill? The American citizens. Instead, what they should have done, sir and madam, is that with those ones that they are not able to make those payments, that they still have jobs. Only reason that they cannot make it because that changed the rate from 5 to 8%. The monthly payment average went up $350. And it's a lot of money for $350 after taxes. So a lot of people are not able to pay it. So if they cannot pay it, they have to lose their home. So all we need to do as the government official at that time is to come up with a solution saying, look, I understand that you're not able to pay that 8%, but we are going to be refinancing it for 5%, but instead we are able to finance it for a longer term, or maybe a balloon payment 10, 15 years from now, when you are able to stabilize your income and your expenditures with maturity so that we can look at the pictures again. If we were able to come up with that idea, our recession or depression, whatever you call it, back in the 2007, 8, and 9, will never happen. Can you imagine, ladies and gentlemen, that at 2009, 2010, when the people do not have jobs and don't have no money to go out to buy gas to find jobs, the gas price was $4 or more, and today we pay right around about $2 something. When we have what we call expanding our country's productivity, we need less gas. No, we did not. Because we had a problem. We had a group of people, they do not know to handle the problem. So we had to find a solution. And now, 3-4 years later, we found a solution and we are exercising it. Why don't we understand it in advance? That's why we need to have problem solvers, solution shakers in our country. We need people like Mr. Trump. He had the vision. We need people like Mr. Sanders. He has the heart. We need people like Mr. Clinton. He has been there. He's seen it. Yes, she made a lot of mistakes in the past, good, bad, or worse, but now she got more experiences. We need a person has all of that in our country as a leader. I know that's a dream, but the good news is all these three people have a purpose to better our country, to make our country great again, and helping our younger generation so that they can be our future. Help them with financially, income equity, quality of life, and also, we all need one thing, is restore our dreams and our hopes. My purpose today is that to let my friends, my audience to know I care. And I know that you care. That's why we want to exercise our vote whenever that we can and find the right candidate to represent us. This is a very interesting year. Everybody had a different viewpoint. But think about that for a short while. We all American. We all living in the same community. We all, 99% of us, actually, all of us are good people until we do something bad. So we can work together and do not let the politics to get in between us. When we are able to communicate and find solutions as a team, everybody wins in this country. And that's my dream and that's my hope for today. Now, we want to move on and talk about another thing about you. What is your purpose in life? What is your dream? Regardless you are young, you are old, we all have dreams and we all have hopes. The good news is, regardless your age, it's never too early or too late to have dreams. I was so inspired by one of the ladies that I worked with. She was my aunt. At her age of 70, she wanted to come in to the United States to join her daughter and her grandson. They live in California while I'm living in Virginia. And with difficulties proving the relationship in between she and her daughter, while she was a legal immigrant and American citizen of the United States, because she was living in the old country and her age, they could not prove the documents enough for them to grant her a green card. So she was living in this country illegally at the age of 80s. After about 10, 12 years of living in this country, she said, I want to die in this country legally. And she asked me if I can help her. That's 20 years ago. At that time, she was like 92 years old. I start compiling all the information which were rejected in the precincts in California. And I said, well, I don't live in California. I cannot help you. But if you move your family here in Virginia, I might be able to help you. So the mother and the daughter moved to Richmond, Virginia at the age of 93, and we filed the petition in Norfolk, Virginia. All she wants is to die in America legally. And at the age of 95, we were fortunate enough that she had an interview with the immigration officer in Norfolk. While we were driving up there from Richmond, we all were very nervous. I just hope that she get good luck. She does not know what her future will be during our trip. When we got there in the immigrations department, after a short interview, the immigration officer asked the lady, she said, you're 95-year-old, we are not going to deport you, and why you want to become American legal immigrant? And she was very excited at that moment. I was her interpreter. I was honored to be on her side to explain to this officer. You know what she said to me? Or to the officer? She said, I love America. I've been living here 15 years now. I don't want to go home. I want to die in here. Legally. It's so significant, so touching. Tears were in my eyes. And the officer said, okay, I understand. I will be back soon. Less than half hours, he came back and handed my aunt her certificate, legal immigrant, and also a social security card, and gave it to her and said, now you can start looking for a job. At the age of 95, I gave her a social security card so that she can start looking for a job. We have some great people working in our government. We have some great people in America. We have great people that are willing to help, extend our courtesy, our love. This country is full of hope, full of dreams, full of love. Sometimes we have to find it. Sometimes they come to us, but don't take it for granted. Sometimes we have to give. The old saying is that in my book, we share our love. The love will come back in a stream of happiness. Because indeed, when you share your love, they come back in tenfold. And many, many times they come back in a stream of happiness. How can we share our love with strangers? When we think about life, it's not about us. It's about everyone, our community, everybody in this world. Because every step that we do, believe it or not, it's affecting the rest of the world. It does. It sounds kind of like a metric, kind of like an unbelievable calculation. How can one person's one move or one act can change everybody else? Let me tell you a story to illustrate my point. One person found a very great job. And he said to me, he said, I wish I'd been started doing this 2 years ago, 5 years ago, because I am so successful with it. If I have done it a little bit earlier, my future is going to be more exponential. Sky's no longer my limit. But the fact of the matter is, if he found the same job 3-5 years ago, he might not be prepared to be successful in this new job. It's all about timing. And the fact of the matter is, after he becomes so successful with this new job, she was able to meet so many new people that able to find a new job for his wife. She was a home mother for a long time, but when she found this new job, she found happiness. She found a purpose in life. A lot of time we are looking at the bigger picture and forget about the smaller benefits. Everything happening in this world has a reason. We just don't know what it is yet. But sometimes we have to have setbacks to appreciate our success. Unless that we have sadness, there is no value for happiness. The most important thing in life that I have learned in the past is to appreciate that what we already have. I come up with stories when I'm on the downside. I came up with stories to tell other people to motivate them because yes, things are bad, but it could be much worse. When we're able to look at our bright sides, we always have more energy to concrete our future. We can find energy by telling ourselves, yes, there is solution out there, there's ways out there. We just have to have a positive attitude, find a way to achieve our goals, large or small. When we start with a small dreams, find a little bit of purpose, we're moving one step forward. When we find problems that say, look, we are not able to resolve this issue, what else can we do? We pray, hope that God can help us. We can look around and see who is out there able to help us. Communication is important. When you just leave it, your things in your heart, they are overburden you. Sometimes you have to let go. Sometimes you need to talk to people. Not everybody can help you because a lot of times they were in the same boat like you are. But we need to understand, okay? We need to understand. We need to understand, forgive, forget, and so that we don't take no ill, bad, or unhappiness from other people's reaction, their response, or their help. You know, in life, regardless you are helping other people or you receive help, we're always able to find happiness. Yes, when you're receiving help, you find happiness. When you're helping others, you find more happiness. So the old Chinese saying is that helping is the key to a happy life. When you have a positive attitude, you think things positively. When you have the power to empower the other people to think positively, you know what? The room is going to be full of energy. A lot of people looking at our debates, our political forums, and the parties, we all feel sad because we saw all the fights. But when you think about the possibility coming from all these conflicts, arguments, disagreements, we do know one thing. The candidates out there right now, they're looking for the betterment for our country and our people. Regardless they have the right method or not, at least they have the mind, they have the heart, they have the want, and we need them. And we need them. And our politicians, our parties, our government need us also. That's why we are empowered by our Constitution as a citizen or legal immigrants for this country, do things for our citizens. So that is part of the program that I want to talk about. Now, moving forward, so we talk about politicians, we talk about you, and we talk about moving forward. How can we help our next generations to better their future? We need newer education systems in our country. When I first came to this country, I could not speak any English. I don't have the English as second language to assist me. I want to quit school at the age 16, but my mother taught me. He said, in order for you to live a happy life, you must continue your education. Education is very important in life. But education is many, many ways. Family education, skill education, book sense, knowledge education, school systems. There's so many ways that we can teach our younger generation. As you, parents, teachers, families, friends, neighbors, please share your story with younger generation. Tell them what you feel, how you feel. Show them your heart, your wisdom, and tell them if they are not doing the right thing. Because as I have seen in the last 10, 15 years, the word of privacy, the word of friends are changed in its meanings. In the old days, friends will do anything for you. But today, a friend is the one that after you had a heart attack, he's the one that called 911. Our country become more and more as individualized. The unity is becoming a little bit expensive. It's hard to find. So the education to our younger children is important. We need to let them know the value of family, the value of respect, the value of knowing the relationship is important for their life's happiness. We also need to go to the school system to rewrite the chapter to help our children how to write, how to read, how to calculate it with a pencil. I truly believe the number is extremely important for your success in life. If you understand the numbers, no one can take advantage from you. If you understand life better, you can contribute more to the society than you can imagine. I don't want my younger generations, my children, my family and friends, got taken advantages by the what we so-call the experts, elites, or the people that in the top 1%. Some people want us to dumb down the old theory that I heard when I first came to this country back in the 60s, 70s, is that there's a small segment of the people that they want to dumb down our general public unless that we have a lot of people paying big debts, never can come to top, they never can stay on top. But that's not the philosophy of a democracy. Democracy, the idea is everybody have an equal chance. Everybody started from the ground fair beginning. I had that opportunity back in the 60s. I worked hard. I built my franchise. I have many restaurants. I own 15 pieces of properties. Yeah, I grew a lot from nothing to have a lot of businesses, employ a lot of people, and become a very, very happy person because that's what America is able to offer their citizens. But watching the evolutions from the top 1%, their mentalities, their philosophies, they are forming to secure their base. Yes, there's a lot of money to be paid to the politicians. That's why I thought Donald Trump is so unique in this year. He saw it. There's a lot of money paid to the politicians for rerun their campaign. And for that certain reasons that they want to control their power. As American citizens, as we know, as we learn, our founding fathers, when they written this Constitution, they are written it for the people, not for the politicians. That Constitution empower you to vote, exercise your right, exercise your opinion, exercise your movement, work with your mind, work with your heart, work with your politicians, redirect our children, redirect our country, the power is in your hands, ladies and gentlemen. Been a long talk without any papers and without any practices of my speeches today. I still have a few more minutes. I don't know what else I should talk about. So now let's talk about, just come up with something about medical care. That's another major issue in our country, right? And Donald Trump said something about our veterans. And many of our veterans, after they serve us and our country, they did not receive the deserved medical attention when they get older. And that's a sad thing. But not only the veterans, I think all American people should treat it equally with medical attention and medical care. How can we do something like this? I don't have a solution yet, but as you know, I always have a dream, I always have a purpose, and I always have my opinion, and I'm going to express my opinion, and I'll tell you what my dream would be. And I hope that you can find purpose in your lifetime, so you can inspire, come up with better ideas, and better solutions to taking care of our elderly in the future. As you know, life is all about supply and demand. When we are facing certain obstacles, the supply and demand readjusted itself. When we are facing that we are able to live longer, and now people exceed the life expectancy, which is a good thing. But in the same time, it drained our resources for medical care and also for retirement benefits. We all know that. But sometimes we are worried a bit too much, because with today's technology, with today's medicine advancement, I believe that there is a breakthrough. That's my dream. That within the next 7 to 10 years, that the newer technology, the newer medicine will be able to come up with a better solution to helping us with less cost, more effective treatments, as long as we are able to managing our budget, our income, paying our fair share of taxes, and paying our fair share of the medical care bills. We should be able to sustain our future benefit for our elderly, because life is always changing. We prepare, we understand, we know. And that's why when you look at American history, people are married much earlier in their age. They started marrying each other like 17, 20. But in the last 15, 20 years, we got less marriage, more independent, and also they delaying their marriage. So we are going to growing our population at a slower pace. There's always a pro, there's always a con. So what we need to do is to how we can focus our next 10 years budget. My dream is the newer technology, newer medicine is able to come up in the next near future to lower our medical costs, give us better care. That would be my dream. But what is happening right now, why we are paying so much for the hospital bills and comparing to the other country, the reason you say is because we got much better care, we got much better medicine, granted. But also is our system. Yes, the universal care from Mr. Obama is working, but to some classes of the people, they are devastating. There's no one plan is perfect for everyone. That's understandable. That's why we need compromise. That's why we need to readjust our plans once we have one. When you really look at our medical bills, the doctors, they work hard. They have a lot of money coming to them have to pay malpractice insurance. We also have a lot of bills that we pay to the hospitals are going to be the profit of the insurance companies. And company paying certain benefit and the bills for the patients with a huge discount that either the doctor did not get their fair share or the hospital did not get their fair share. In order for them to get their fair share, they have to raise the price because they only pay them a percentage. When you pay 100% of your care, you got a certain bill, which is maybe $500 or $1,000 or $1 million. But when you only got a percentage of the bill, you have to inflate the bill so that you get your fair share. Now that's where I'm worried about. If that is the case, insurance company is not going to charge the average citizens what they actually pay to the hospital and the doctors, but what they are actually paying is what is on the bill. They are charging you. So for example, if the bill is $300,000, we pay the premium on $300,000. In turn, they pay $100,000 to the doctors and the hospitals and settle that bill as it is. Where's that premium for the rest of the $200,000? You tell me. So that's why sometimes we have to worry about our system. Do we have a solution for it? I don't have the knowledge about overcoming all that bigger problem, but you can. You know why? Working together. Remember? You, the American citizens, when we understand the problem from the root, we can always find a solution as a whole. That is my take. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to congratulate to Ms. Clinton, Mr. Trump, Mr. Sanders. They are wonderful people. They are fantastic individuals. They had great ideas. The only difference is that they have a different viewpoints. Their heart, their soul, their mind are all for American people. Regardless who you vote for, feel proud for yourself, for your party, but just make one thing is for sure. Continue to have your dream, continue to contribute, and also find a purpose in life to helping our next many generations to come. Remember, you can make a difference. My name is T.S. Chin. You can go to Google, T.S. Chin, to learn a little bit about me. I'm an author of the book called Happy Life, HAPPYLIFE, which a dot in between each letter. You can go to YouTube to watch a few of my presentations. And I hope that by learning and helping each other, togetherly, we will have a better future, not just for you and me, but for our next many generations to come. Thank you once again. I wish you all have a good night. God bless America. Thank you.